So the way I envision building a school is it's not necessarily much as a lateral system as it more as it is a progressive school system. So there are no grades. There's either you get in and enroll in school and then you graduate. And that's it. The middle is what you can control.
Can you talk a little bit about the school that you're interested in building? This was one of your goals. It'd be really cool to hear how you would think about structuring a system that would provide financial education for low-income people to bring them up at least to the middle class.
Yeah, you know, going through school is a very unique experience. I, I didn't always accelerate through school, nor did I do very well in learning a lot of material very fast. So it's somewhat embarrassing going to school, seeing all these kids like pick up these things crazy fast. And what I was learning whenever we would get tested is these kids would get way better grades than me on the test, but when it came, multiple months down the road, they forgot it all. I still remembered what I learned. So one thing over my really going through the banking system, even being a business owner, growing up, is I noticed that people learn at different paces. And right now, a lot of the school systems, I'm not sure how it is in Canada. I assume it's somewhat similar, where
Very
it's
similar.
very lateral. So you got kindergarten, you got first grade, second grade, third grade. You have set curriculum. You need to pass set tests and X amount of time, and then you move on to the next grade, or you get held back, which is seen as a very bad thing. Um, it doesn't really flow. It's not super fluid. So the way I envision building a school is it's not necessarily much as a lateral system as it more as it is a progressive school system. So there are no grades. There's either you get in and enroll in school and then you graduate. And that's it. The middle is what you can control because you're going to learn at your own pace. And you may be you may be in kindergarten, but already at a second grade level of mathematics, with a first grade level of reading, but a kindergarten level of English. So with the fluid system, where there's not that lateral progression, you'll be able to get the help and progress your mathematics skills that you're gifted with, and really focus on each area of need rather than being forced to do a specific type of material that may not interest you. And the other thing that I noticed in school, especially in high school, is I'll never forget in my mathematics class, I was pretty much like not going to graduate high school. This is how slow of a reader I was in going through the material, and it took a lot of time for it to sit in my brain and process it. And my mathematics teacher in calculus, she's like, "Hey, do you care about your future?" And I was like, "Yeah, I care about my future. I don't want to be a loser. I don't want to be bummed." And she's
Yeah.
like, "You know what? I want you to take the cumulative final exam, and I know what grade you need to get. You need to get a C. If you bust your butt off, study for this, and you get an A, I will give you a C in my class so you can graduate." So I had like 2 weeks to prepare. My counselor, walked me through that. I'm gonna pretty much flunk out of high school if I don't get my grades up. And I ended up passing the exam, and I was like, you know what? I was a TA in this calculus class, and I did better when I was a TA than when I initially just took the course. I
Yeah.
dropped out because I was bored with some of the material, and when we got to the really good stuff,
Yeah.
and I was a TA, I was there for it, so I focused on that stuff. So that's where I kind of got the idea of having a more fluid school system to enhance, develop schools based off of just where you're at the moment. If I didn't get that opportunity, I wouldn't have realized it, and I probably wouldn't be where I'm at right now. So
Another thing it does is that it seems to also give you a little bit more confidence too, because you end up knowing, hey, this is where I'm weak at, but this is where I'm strong at. So it gives you that balance as opposed to sort of here's this big chunk you have to be good at, and no person is a big chunk. It's a mix of skills, a mix of talents, you know.
and
So
the other big thing is in schools, especially at the younger levels of educate, the early stages of education, there's really no education on finances.
Yeah.
And my the co-founder of the company, my business partner, is funny. His daughter is 4 years old, and she knows when the stock market's up. She knows when the stock market's down, and it was just kind of an experiment he was messing around with to see if he could teach his 4 year old daughter about the fundamentals of investing. And she's been able to get it. And we've seen this in other kids that come in with some of these wealthier families, where we sit down with their kids and we explain some concepts to them, and over time they're able to pick up this knowledge. And that's another thing that I would incorporate into the schooling system is finances and educating on what investing really looks like. So
That's cool. Where would you build this school? In Arizona?
I built in Arizona, so a lot of my family is from the west side in Arizona, but there's a place called Maryville, which is a really low income area, and we have government housing there. That's where I would look to build the school and provide these resources. It's a big uphill challenge because there's a lot more variables that go into it
For
besides just
sure.
the education. It's parents being involved in the kid's life. So there has to be some outside help, not just with the students but with the teachers. It's the intimidation factor of I'm not, and the confidence level of some of these kids, not thinking they're good enough for something like that, or maybe they're not smart enough. But with enough time, anyone can be intelligent. It just may take you a little bit longer and a lot more work, but anyone can get there.
Or with that, then I'd like to thank you for coming to the podcast. Where can they find you?
Yeah, so you can visit our company at sgwealthaz.com. We post tons of articles that are educational, a lot of resources, calculators that people can use just for their own finances. And I'm also at LinkedIn. If you look me up by my name, Eric Gomez. I'll be listed under SG Wealth Managers, and I'll be hanging around just trying to help and change people's lives.
That's great. All right, Eric. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming to the podcast. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thank you again for the opportunity, and good luck with your ventures. I'll be keeping an eye on the show and seeing how everything progresses.
I hope so. You'll be on it.
All right, thank you.
All right. Take care.